Have you ever stepped onto an escalator, looked down, and noticed those bright yellow lines running along the edges of every step? You've probably seen them thousands of times in shopping malls, airports, train stations, and office buildings. But have you ever stopped to wonder why they're there? Are they just there to make the escalator look more stylish? Are they meant to match the "Watch Your Steps" signs? Or maybe they're simply a clever marketing trick to catch your attention while you're deciding whether you really need another pair of shoes? Well, none of those are right. In fact, those little yellow edges are quietly helping to prevent thousands of accidents every single day. Without them, stepping onto an escalator would be far more dangerous than most people realize. Welcome to Past in Plain Sight. Today, we're uncovering the surprising history behind one of the most overlooked safety features you'll ever stand on: the yellow edges of escalator steps. To understand why they're yellow, we first have to travel back to a time before escalators became the moving staircases we know today. In the late 19th century, escalators were still experimental machines. Early versions looked more like moving ramps than stairs, and riding one felt less like entering a shopping mall and more like volunteering for a mechanical adventure. Some people were so nervous that attendants stood nearby to reassure passengers that they would probably survive the trip. As escalators became more common during the 20th century, they also became faster, longer, and much busier. Millions of people used them every day without a second thought. Unfortunately, not everyone stepped on or off perfectly. Shoes got caught. Bags dragged behind. Children treated them like amusement park rides. And somewhere, in every generation, there was always at least one person who decided the handrail was optional because apparently balance is just a suggestion. Engineers noticed a common problem. The edge of each moving step wasn't always easy to distinguish from the next one, especially in dim lighting, crowded stations, or when people were distracted. If you misjudged where one step ended and another began, you could easily lose your footing. That split second of confusion was enough to cause falls, twisted ankles, or worse. They needed a solution that would work instantly without requiring people to stop and think. That's when color came to the rescue. Yellow wasn't chosen because it looked cheerful. It was chosen because the human eye notices it exceptionally well. Among all colors, bright yellow creates one of the strongest visual contrasts against the gray or metallic surface of an escalator. Even in poor lighting or from the corner of your eye, those yellow edges practically shout, "Here's the step." It's the same reason construction workers wear fluorescent yellow vests and why many warning signs use yellow backgrounds. Your brain processes that contrast incredibly quickly, often before you're even consciously aware of it. Long before you think, "There's the edge," your eyes have already sent the message. But the yellow lines do more than simply outline the steps. They also help your brain judge movement. An escalator is constantly moving beneath your feet, creating an optical illusion that can make it surprisingly difficult to judge depth. Those repeating yellow borders create a clear visual pattern, allowing your brain to track each step more accurately. In other words, they're quietly preventing your feet from having an embarrassing disagreement with gravity. Of course, not every escalator around the world has exactly the same shade of yellow. Safety standards differ from country to country, but many building codes and international safety recommendations encourage high-visibility markings because studies consistently show they help reduce slips, trips, and boarding errors. It's one of those rare cases where something incredibly simple solves a surprisingly complicated problem. Ironically, the better those yellow edges do their job, the less anyone notices them. Think about it. Nobody gets off an escalator and proudly announces, "I'd like to thank the yellow paint for another successful descent." We simply step on, ride up, step off, and continue with our day. Safety features often become invisible precisely because they work so well. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to Past in Plain Sight, and join us next time as we reveal another fascinating piece of history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.